This kid Finney, this kid is not living the American dream. First off, he gets bullied at school, which you know already sucks.
Yeah, but that's how it happens in all those movies. He always gets bullied. Like, damn. The thing about it is, ain't nobody even talk about it. Nobody was like, you know what? Like, hey, these bullies gotta go to jail or some. If I was like, if my son pulled up, do I even have it? Yeah, I always. I'll be pull up. This is made out of mold or whatever. I'll give it to my son. Here you go. Shoot that motherfucker. Probably every plot of school. I cannot even say that, right? I mean, you guys will get it. I bet you didn't expect to see the original video of that meme. Well, now you do on my channel. You're welcome. Today we got horror movies that actually scared me. Part 2. There is a part 1 that I didn't see. This video is by Eric FDB, and I will obviously talk about whatever I was doing the time that I was not uploading. I think you guys are sick of it at the moment. So let's start with the video and then we can discuss about this.
You know, I think we can all agree. A lot of horror movies just aren't that scary. But
one more point to let y'all know before we start. I don't really watch horror movies. I watch the how to beat videos.
Well, you want your body, man.
I apologize. I hate horror movies, and we're probably gonna see some exhibits right here for me to tell y'all why I hate horror movies. Because of shit like that. We're gonna see what's gonna happen.
I'm beneath all this mediocre, not scary stuff are gems. Horror movies are so good, so captivating, so scary that you might just start pissing your pants. So that's what we'll be doing today. It's been about 42 years since I did the last one, but today I'll be going over some
I watched the first one
that I actually find scary. Yes, Derek, horror movies that I find scary. I have to make that
okay.
And in the end, I'll go over one of the scariest movies I've ever seen.
That looks like it.
Let's run it.
Right. The Black Phone. I did see the how to beat video about this.
First time I heard about this movie, one of my friends suggested we go watch it one night for fun. You know, spur of the moment type of thing. Watch it in theaters for that real scary experience. He ended up ditching me and go over to girl instead, so I watched it on streaming. But it was still pretty scary. I'ma just assume you ain't never seen it. So if you ain't know, in The Black Phone, we follow this kid named Finney Blake, American kid from the suburbs in 1978. And while he may live in the suburbs and look like the average American around this time, let me tell you, this kid Finney, this kid is not living the American dream. First off, he gets bullied at school, which you know already sucks.
Yeah, but that's how it happens in all those movies. He always gets bullied. Like, damn.
Bully, that sucks. But this is 70s bullying too. Not 2000s getting called the hard R on the game. Nah, this is put your head in the toilet bowl and beat you up for the dumbest reason type of bullying. I don't like your glasses. 4 eyes. Like what? Y'all was beating up people for being visually impaired? And then speaking of beat, Finney's father.
The thing about it is, ain't nobody even talk about it. Nobody was like, you know what? Like, hey, these bullies gotta go to jail or some shit. Bro, if I was like, if my son pulled up, do I even have it? Yeah, I always. I'll be pull up. This is made out of mold or whatever. I'll give it to my son. Here you go. Shoot that motherfucker. Probably every plot of school. I cannot even say that, right? I mean, you guys will get it.
Not the best either. Like, I thought Hispanic moms were bad, but this man be raising a belt off any little thing. Like, his temper could have been a horror movie on its own. Like, Finney will be munching on his cereal, minding his business. You think you could slurp that any louder? Like, damn, bro, you got some superheroes.
He looks like a redneck, man.
Let him enjoy his crunch logs in peace. Mind you, this is all only like 12 minutes into the movie, and I already felt bad for the kid. Dad beats you, born in the 70s. This dude's life is terrible. But to top it all off, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for the kid, one day while he's walking home from school, Finney gets kidnapped. Yeah. And this is where the horror really starts. Because the dude who kidnapped Finney is one of the strangest, one of the most.
I mean, if we're being honest, living through that life, wouldn't he just be like, no, this ain't half bad. No bullies, no school.
Just unsettling killers I've seen on screen. The Grabber, which not the best name. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The Grabber, that could mean a lot of things, bro.
It's like
but
a
in
bad
this case,
basic.
It's because he be grabbing up kids from the street and murking them. That's right. And to me, this guy is by far the scariest part of the movie. Like, for some horror movies, it's the atmosphere or the jump scares. But in The Black Phone, it's
Nah. I have a fight about this bullshit. I don't think jump scares are scary. Not because they don't scare me, because they do. It's just cheap ass shit that movie producers, director be doing just to get you like, oh, giddy up and be like, oh, we made a scary movie. No, you didn't. You just made a movie that that uses like jump scares as a scary. Like a movie is scary when you're watching that movie and you're like, you know what? Let me lower down my volume. That's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, you're like, yeah, like you lower down the volume. That's like top tier scaredness, you know. But jump scares, it's like cheap ass shit that they be doing.
I've seen all types of killers in these movies before, but the feeling I got when this dude was on my screen was just, ugh. Cause you know he likes to do these weird psychological.
How the fuck is he
to the kids he kidnaps? Like
wait,
first,
so oh my god, bro, just got a different version of his mascot.
he'll start acting like he's a nice guy, doing this
Probably a Reddit user.
weird Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka voice that he does. Hurt you? I'm not gonna hurt you.
Bane.
Why would I? Do you want some soda? Let me get you some soda. I'm not even joking. That's actually how he sounds to me. Then he'll do these things to test the kids, like leave the basement door open. But if he catches you trying to sneak out of it, he'll beat you.
Hey yo!
According to him, for being a
Why is he shirtless? I mean, I get he's gonna beat him, but why the fuck is he shirtless?
naughty boy, whatever that be. And that's really his whole goal while you trapped in his basement. This dude is just itching for you to be naughty. But the scariest thing about this dude to me is he's a smart killer. I noticed this while I was watching. As the movie goes on and Finney gets more advice from the dude's victims through the black phone, the movie eventually shows us how many victims the grabber has. 5. And there's this one specific scene in the movie that shows all of them lined up. And that's
Looking like some Backstreet Boys album or some shit. Who the fuck is this guy?
confirm how smart this dude is to me, but it also added a whole new layer of fear. Because tell me why I'm looking at who he killed, right? And I noticed this dude started killing minorities. And I ain't saying it's okay when it was white kids. No, I'm not saying that. But you gotta put it in perspective. This is the 70s. You tell the cops back then a Mexican kid is missing, they just gonna be like, probably went home. They might as well be gone with the wind of the 70s because NBC ain't covering them. And I don't know about y'all, but to me,
Another time we're shirtless.
A lot scarier. That means this dude was smart enough to switch up his game plan to avoid getting caught. He was probably sitting in his room like, all right, next month I'll do white, black, white. Is that too much white? That junk is scary, y'all. I'm telling y'all. If it wasn't for him getting greedy and going after Finney, which led to his demise, a lame one at that. How you gonna get
okay. Damn.
He's stuck by a preteen, bro. I'm telling you, this dude would have never gotten caught. He was playing meta.
Oh. Okay, we're just gonna switch up to another show or another movie. Well, speaking of that shit, like what he doing? I mean, at the same time, why is he like opening the basement and then he stands there shirtless waiting for a teenager to pull up? That alone is a case. Orphan.
I had the black phone first for a reason. It's not even close to the scariest horror movie I've watched. A movie that's a bit closer though is Orphan. Like black phone scares me because I imagine being a kid and running into that dude. But even as an adult, this one freaks me out. This movie
I've not watched this movie.
Good. I don't even want to hint at what it's about yet. I mean, obviously an orphan, but you know what I mean. So in Orphan, we follow this married couple, Kate and John. And even though these two definitely got it better than Finney over there, I mean, look at their crib. Life ain't perfect and stuff ain't always sweet, especially in marriage. And trust me, I would know. I've had like 3 divorces on Sims. But in Kate and John's case, it's not divorce. It's that they lost their baby. And this loss clearly flung Kate into a depression. She took up the bottle, started seeing a therapist. This was some sad stuff. And then John, not so much.
He looks horrible.
I'm not gonna say he wasn't sad, but I couldn't see it. All I saw him trying to do was get one in with Kate.
Whoa!
I ain't judging. Some of the happiest dudes you be seeing be the saddest, so maybe that's how he copes. So to finally deal with the sadness, Kate and John decide they want to give that love they would have gave their daughter to another kid because they're just sweet. Like
adoption.
So they go to the orphanage, which I never understood how these things work, like parent-wise. Do you just come in and pick the one that looks most like you? Like, oh, look at this one, honey. This one has your eyes.
Okay.
Sorta? Or can you just adopt?
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird, ain't it? Like, do you go there and you be like, oh, I want to adopt a child? Like, do you filter out? You know, like when you pull up on Amazon, you have to filter out shit. Like, do you do that? Like, hey, I want age, like, I don't know, 25 to 26 or like 12 to 10, you know, or 8, 7, whatever babies. And then I want him to be, you know, let's make him Hispanic. filter out Hispanics. We don't want them. And then let's make it like, do you just set it up? Like, how do these papers work? Do they just get you like a fucking adoption, like adopted a dog? Like, hey, hi, you got all these children, pick one. It's like, oh yeah, that would look like you about to be asked.
Adopt any kid, even if they're nothing like you. Because if that's the case, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm gonna just line up all the kids and tell them to race. Fastest one coming home with me.
See?
Stick it out, buddy. And Kate and John must have been thinking the same thing I was. Because out of all the kids they could have picked from the orphanage, they chose the most gifted one. A little girl by the name Esther. And you see
Esther.
the title. You don't gotta play dumb. There is something wrong with this little girl. And before you say, no, it's not the fact that she dresses weird. Come on, y'all. Jesus Christ.
She dresses weird.
Than that. Far worse. Which is crazy. Because at first when you're watching it, Esther looks like the best daughter in the world. She's polite. She's smart. She learns ASL to talk with her, or not talk, with her new deaf sister. She's great.
What?
I mean, it's no Project LeBron, but this is still amazing stuff.
See, yeah, I told ya.
Too amazing. Because the longer these two live with this little girl, the more cracks they start to see in this little perfect daughter image. Like, first thing we see is that she has a bit of a temper problem. This girl from school tried touching...
I don't get it. So, hold on, the bullying.
Like the ribbons around her neck, and she just flipped out. Like, all right.
That's it.
Maybe that's a Russian thing too. And then there's the scene where she walks in on Kate and John coping with their loss. If you know what I'm saying. And instead of being traumatized like a normal kid, she just stares? What?
Nah.
And that's not even the weirdest part about that one. Because after Kate saw that Esther saw them, you know, she feels the need to give Esther the birds and the bees talk. So she pulls up on her. Esther, when two people love each other very much, you know, they want to show.
Damn.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
She was not expecting that. And then the thing she did that just really took it over the top for me with this girl was that after Kate and John's son accidentally shot a pigeon while he was playing with a paintball gun, and I'm saying accidentally very loosely here because the dude literally aimed his sights in and shot. Then he wanted to.
It's not accidental.
I didn't mean to. Shut up. Esther pulls up on him and tells him he needs to take some accountability, which is facts. That's facts. By putting the bird out its misery. Oh my goodness, that's cold. You are 9 years old. What are you talking about? And the kid, Daniel, obviously couldn't do it. Telling me to kill a pigeon? What are you talking about? But guess
you just did.
Esther does it. No hesitation or nothing. Just bop. There is something wrong with this little girl. And Kate eventually realized something is up.
So, I don't know. Everything seems good about her. Like, why would the director fuck her up and make her, like, just be a horrible person?
So she starts doing some digging. Calls the orphanage to find out what's wrong. And see, if I was the parent, I'm calling too. But I would have just said, forget figuring out what's wrong. I would have just called up.
Return it back.
Yeah, so mine just killed a pigeon. Y'all do refunds or...
And Kate doing all this investigating actually made things worse. This is when things get scary. Because if you thought Esther's antics were bad before, you don't even know. Because remember, I told y'all, Esther is a smart girl. Very smart. So when she gets wind of Kate's plan to find out who or what she is from Sister Abigail, she decides to handle it in a very calm...
She about to kill Abigail.
Nah, I'm just kidding. She kills her. Yeah, even with all them cracks from earlier, I did not think this...
Wait. So... Let me get this straight. That's a grown-ass woman folded over there in the back. Got killed by this. I might have to like watch How to Beat video or some shit because how the fuck you get folded by a kid? It's one kid even. Like, I mean, literally right there. Like, yep, right there. This scene right here.
Nah,
she lifted up that shit like 75 miles, and you just screaming? Look at that shit, bro. You are her sister. What the fucking shit? Yep. Hold your breath. Hold on. I don't give a fuck about her being a child. Listen to that bullshit.
Yeah, even with all them cracks from earlier, I did not think this 9-year-old was capable of murdering anyone, much less a nun. That's like double evil. And it doesn't even end there. Because after that, she only continues to do evil stuff. She destroys the memorial Kate made for the daughter they lost out of spite. She burns down the family treehouse to dispose of all the evidence. And this last thing she did had me genuinely scared. Y'all remember Kate and John's son, right? Daniel? Well, before Esther burned down the treehouse, Daniel saw her hide the evidence in the treehouse. But Esther saw that. So she pulls up in his sleep and tells him if he says what he saw to anyone, she gonna pull up on him
That makes
again,
sense. It's a kid.
Off his hairless balls.
Oh, nah.
His balls?
Nah.
I don't care what no one says.
Nah.
Freddy, Jason, and Michael ain't never said something that scary to no one before. I was around this kid's age when I first seen this movie, so that threat felt like it was at me. Had me sitting there clutching my nuts in fear. There is something wrong with this girl. And the worst part is no one can prove anything because she's 9. The cops won't believe
I'm
that. Tell them
saying
she murdered
exactly. The cops won't believe it because they're like, how the fuck you get folded by a 90 years old?
someone and burnt down a treehouse. They just gonna be like, why? Which is a good question. Why is she doing this? Is she
That's a good
possessed?
question.
Is she a demon? Is she
That's
a
what I need to know.
skinwalker? Why is this little girl so evil? Well, at the end of the movie, that's when it all makes sense. So after
Go
this
ahead.
girl Kate gets sedated for pretty much pimp slapping Esther, at this point, let's not act like she don't deserve it, y'all. We know she deserved it. John goes
Sure,
home
sure.
with Esther and Max and leaves Kate alone at the hospital. And while she's there, she gets a call from the previous orphanage Esther belonged to. Or should I say, what she thought was the orphanage. Because
Okay.
she finds out Esther's last spot wasn't an orphanage. It was a
Asylum.
psych ward. Yeah,
Yup.
this little girl is crazy, which makes sense. You gotta have at least a few screws loose to threaten to cut off someone's ball. But that's not even the full explanation. Because this Russian dude tells Kate, on top of being crazy, Esther has been keeping something else under wraps. Last chance to leave, y'all. Last chance. This little girl, Esther,
Is actually
is
a
not a
grown
little
woman.
girl at all.
Okay.
She's a grown woman. Crazy.
So she like to
Apparently,
play
she looks like
kids.
this because some genetic dwarf thing. But my mind was blown when I first seen this. Like, this is some weird anime stuff. A middle-aged woman pretty much trapped in the body of a child? That must suck. You wouldn't even be able to do regular stuff. Like, imagine your friends trying to go to Six Flags and you can't get on
Yep.
anything with the kiddie rides because you 35 in the body of a 7-year-old. That would be horrible, but that's how it is for Esther. But that still doesn't answer. Why would she go out her way to look even more childlike? Why is she trying to live with people? Well, the reason she did all this stuff, you know, get adopted, torment Kate, was for one reason. A twist again. The reason she did all this was
Because she wanted to feel
she
loved.
wants John. Ugh, I know she's really a...
Now hold up. Now there's a lot of red flags. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of red flags. First of all, this girl gotta be a genetic problem, even in real life. Because if I hear that the director made this girl act like she's a grown woman, and he also made her try to shop some dude's balls, and also trying to make her watch them get it done, like getting jiggy with it, we gotta investigate this director. This dude got something. He got something. What the fuck is he doing?
An adult, but
I'm
this
on
don't
to it.
feel right. This whole thing from beginning to end was just Esther
He's
trying to get
basically
her-
making this girl, if she's a girl in real life, when she acting that, trying to get jiggy with a grown ass dude.
herself a
I'm just
man.
saying.
And there's just so many things wrong with this. Like, you really thought this was the way to do it? Dressing up as a child? That pigtails and dress stuff might work in Japan or with billionaires, but not with a man who's trying to adopt you, bro. Come on. That's
The director
gross.
of the movie.
That's who it's the scariest for, at least in the end. Because remember, they went home without Kate. So when they get home, John has to deal with Esther, who he thinks is just a Russian kid he adopted, trying to riz him.
Oh my god,
this
see?
is
I told you there was some. Nah, the director gotta go to jail.
It's gross. She over here talking
Director
about
gotta
some,
go to jail.
You said you love me. Ugh. Seeing someone get rejected is cringy enough, but seeing a father reject his daughter?
Bro,
that's
now
something
hold
I
up.
thought only dudes in
We ain't doing
Arkansas.
that. Arkansas. The fuck? We're researching this shit. Why do I gotta do this now? Was there a bridge that I missed? Oh, orphan. It's not orphanage. And who's the director? Directed by. Yeah, we got my eyes on you. Jamue Coletteria. Her age is 28. When she made the movie, what was her age? Her movie was in 2009. So let's do the calculations. So 2025 minus 2009. Hold on. Will equal to 16 years. Okay. 28. It's already not looking good. Minus 16 will equal 12. Yep. We caught his ass. This guy right here. He was trying to see a 12-year-old get jiggy with it. Let's continue.
I don't want to see this. Messed up part is that dude
I'm
John
saying.
didn't even figure out that she's been fooling them that whole time. I mean, Maybe he did because he saw her without her makeup when she stabbed him to death, but I doubt it.
Okay.
Kate rushes home after figuring out the news. I mean, obviously she's late. John is dead. But either way, Kate gotta be the realest chick I seen in a horror movie. Because when she was approaching the crib to park up and run inside, she said that and straight up crashed her car into her crib.
Damn!
That's some cool stuff. Could you imagine nothing was happening
stupid.
inside though? That would have been a little embarrassing. And this one pretty much concludes with Kate getting back for John and killing Esther by kicking her after she tried to pull a "Don't let me die, mommy." And I know I just talked hella about this movie, but Orphan, it's still not close to being the scariest one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not
movie
even
that is
scary,
though,
I think.
is Barbarian.
I did see how to be the video of
This one was
movie.
actually suggested by one of you guys a little while ago. And let me tell you something about this movie. This movie is not only scary, but it's weird. Like movies I thought were weird for type of weird. And that's actually what I was saving it for. But here it is. So this movie's about a girl named Tess who's staying at an Airbnb in Detroit. I ain't saying
Hear
nothing,
this out.
except this
This is one of the reasons why I don't fuck with these
got
movies.
some weird stuff going on in it. First of all, when this girl gets there, she finds out someone else was already staying there. A dude at that. And
Fucking
because some event
Ed.
going on in the city, she
I
has
think.
to stay
I don't
with
know.
him. Oh, heck nah. See, I'm a dude, and I'm sleeping amongst the rats before I even think about sharing a crib with literal Pennywise. That's his
That's what I
acting,
said.
dog. Look at him. But that was only the first thing, because later at night, the weird stuff continues. When Tess, in the middle of the night, hears a weird sound. And I mean weird.
Hey, yo!
Sound like someone aggressively sucking a baby bottle. What the heck?
I'm saying.
But when she looks to see if it's the dude she's staying with, she sees he's asleep. What the heck is going on? And it only gets stranger. The next day, Tess goes outside and notices the neighborhood she's staying in is run down. Like, bad. I ain't saying nothing. After her job
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about. Why the fuck are you still there, bro? I'm going out. These are the houses? Oh, hell, motherfucker. I ain't staying here. You got me fucked up, bro. I ain't no talking no monsters. No, like, fucking fictional stuff. Nah. Bro, you know how many houses of these could have a drug deal? 75 of them, at least. Bro, anybody could shoot me up at any moment. I'm not doing that. I'm gone. Like, if I'm not getting killed by some fictional, whatever, monsters, something sci-fi shit, I'm getting killed by the people over there doing drugs. But nah, let me go do an interview. Bro, be homeless in the streets of New York on those spiky benches. Better than staying in that neighborhood.
people tell her she shouldn't even be on that
That's
side
not
of
even the
town.
beginning.
It's dangerous. And strangest of all, when Tess gets back to the
And she
crib
told her it's dangerous. Okay.
and accidentally gets herself stuck in the basement, she finds a hidden room.
Exactly.
And in that hidden room,
What's the next
there's
thing?
another room. And I don't know what happened in here, but it must have been some messed up stuff. Because this room had a bucket, a stained mattress, a camera, and a bloody handprint.
Yep. All out of
This is
pocket
not
bullshit.
good. Tess obviously panics, and luckily, at the same time, her roommate comes back. Convenient, huh? And she starts telling him, "Look, we gotta go. There's a bucket with boo-boo, a camera,
Why
and a
the
bloody
fuck do you give a fuck about him? How you know he's not even the owner of that
in the
shit?
basement. We gotta go." And
Be
it's
gone.
a horror movie, so you know dumb stuff is like law. Tell me why
Exactly.
this dude says, "I should go check it out myself to be safe."
Alright.
What you mean to be safe? If we just leave and call the cops, I think that's pretty safe. I don't know how
Yep.
Tess ain't think maybe this dude was behind it or something at this point. That's what I was thinking. There's a stranger in your crib. He shows up when you find the stuff, and then he wants to go check it out himself. Come on, bro.
He's
But
gonna
I
burn the
realized
evidence.
Quickly, I might have been because after this dude goes downstairs and doesn't respond, Tess goes down there, which again is like, why would you go into the basement?
Thank you. Thank you.
Again, you knew this man for about 17 hours and you want to play Captain Save a Clown? That could have
I'm
been
saying.
my best friend and I still would have dipped. Like, I warned you, buddy. But when
We
Tess
didn't even know if that's a friend. Like, it's not. It could have been the owner. It could have been the person who had these cameras. Does everything.
goes down there to see what's going on with the dude, she discovers that in that hidden room with the room, there's a hidden passageway. And
Yeah.
At this point, I was like, Tess, if you go in there, you either top 5 dumbest people in horror movies or I'm the most hardest.
Nah. There's no top 5 in horror movies. Dumbest character in horror movie. There is no top 5. It's top 75,000. Every single horror movie, you gotta find someone dumb. Like every single horror movie.
But you go in there. She goes down there, of course, and this is when the true horror of this movie starts. Because when Tess gets down them steps, she finds a few, I'll say, surprising things. First of all,
Yeah.
she finds out this downstairs area isn't just a
Look
basement
at
within a
this
basement.
shit,
It's
bro.
a whole tunnel
Tunnel.
system. Then in that very same tunnel system, she finds some cages, some very big cages. And then, most surprising of all, she finds her roommate. which is surprising because I thought you were in danger, buddy. What happened? At this point watching this, y'all should be thinking the same thing I was thinking when I first watched.
Is he gonna get dragged out?
You stupid. It's clearly him behind it. And he's trying to act all scared. This is all clearly him.
Yep.
Oh my. Out of nowhere from the tunnels came this giant naked lady that just straight up murked Keith. And I mean like really naked. Like I can't show y'all, but just know they was hanging 10. And this naked monster lady is
just like fucking saggy as fuck too.
Part of this
Polly.
Well, her and how she was made. Like we don't see it immediately, but after she captures Tess, the actual owner of the house comes through and discovers the same tunnels. And that's when we see how scary this lady is. Cause first of all, her speech non-existent. Cave speak. And you may not find this scary, but I do. I don't want to be held hostage by someone who speaks like speaking
that's
in
caveman
boogas
shit.
and boogas. Are you mad or excited? I can't tell. Then we find out they call her the mother, which you may be thinking, oh, why is that a big deal?
Are they commentating in the tunnel?
They call her the mother is because she wants to be a mother so bad that she feeds the people she captures through baby bottles. Yeah, she's giving them milk. And I thought with her speech, she's running to the grocery store and asking where the dairy section is at. So you can only assume, that's right. That's her milk.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. But I'm drinking all of it. Look, it's either that or she starts getting aggressive. And if I'm in this, if she want a baby, she gonna get a baby.
Bro, I would have not been over there. I would have not been over there to begin with.
That bottle through the cage.
You're never gonna catch me like it like that.
Plus, it beats what happens if you don't drink it. If you don't drink it out the bottle, she takes you out the cage and makes you drink it straight from the source. Which I don't even gotta explain why a giant naked cave lady giving you some mother's milk is both terrifying and disgusting. And I already know there's gonna be some of y'all in the comments saying, hear me out. No, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
There's no hear you out.
But like I said, how she was made was even scarier. Cause she may look like the monster of this movie. I mean she is, but there's a bigger monster behind all this. This guy. And it's okay to be confused. Just looks like a middle-aged dude, right? But this guy is actually a serial killer. Yup, and when I say this dude is sick, I mean he's sick. Because not only would
is that another movie?
Women on some Doma stuff, but he would have babies with these women. And after he would have babies with these women, he would have babies with those babies. I know, take it all in, take it all in. And he did this over and over and over again.
And he never get caught.
Made the mother, which explains the appearance, the strength, and the cave speak.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie is sick. And
see, I did not know that about the how to beat. Or maybe I did, but I forgot about it.
Scariest movie of the video.
You hear this up?
Then?
Weapons. Okay.
I got a lot of stuff I want to say about this movie. Warner Bros. Hold this is fair use. Now, before I even get to how I feel about it, you gotta know this movie is special. It's about missing kids like the Black Phone and directed by the dude who made Barbarian. And it shows because this movie was probably the scariest experience I had in a movie theater ever. And I've seen a dude get jumped at the theaters before. If you ain't never seen it, this movie's about a small town where a classroom of kids go missing under mysterious circumstances. 17 kids all ran out their homes at 2:17 a.m. Yeah, 2 a.m., not 3. And all of them never to be seen again, except one. But the strange thing is, when they ran out, they all did this triangular pose, almost like a mix between T-posing and the Naruto run.
Oh, look at that.
Now the parents are in an uproar, trying to figure out how or why this happened. And that's all y'all really need to know, because this first half is all it took for this movie to scare me. But I didn't know it was going to be that scary when I was coming in. I came in thinking, scary schmary. But then about 5 minutes into the movie, when I seen that first kid run across the street with his arm stretched out, I want to go
that
home.
Shit was
I can't explain it. It wasn't a disturbing or scary killer. It wasn't spammy jump scares. It was just vibes.
Thank you.
That's the best way I can explain it. This movie had scary vibes. Like, bro, this jump was so scary, it made me realize I might be on the spectrum. No, I'm serious. Because every time I felt tensions rising or stuff became too much for me, I was immediately rushing to cover my ears. I'm serious. I spent about 80% of the movie.
I'm telling ya, that's exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to these movies. Movies are scary, or games are scary, stuff like that. Because I usually like play games or watch somebody play those games. It's like that when you're in that state of being like scared, you're lowering the volume or changing it. It's like, oh shit, now shit gets serious.
That's just how real it was. I ain't care about what the people around me thought. I was just trying to make it through. And that's what I think it was with this movie. Like, yeah, of course, there's also a mix of fear of the unknown, but I think the music of this movie,
fear of the unknown,
lack thereof sometimes, just built this tension. And it makes sense too. We all know horror movies aren't scary without their music. Like, you're not gonna be scared watching The Conjuring if it had freaking SpongeBob music in the back. Like, nah, it just wouldn't be the same. And Weapons was really good at it. The music just made me feel like something was always about to happen. Like, there's this one scene early on in the movie where the teacher of the kids that went missing goes to visit the one kid that didn't go missing to, you know, figure out why.
Oh, he's running normally.
But while she's posted up out there waiting to see something suspicious,
About to slap him to the.
falls asleep. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is while she's asleep, the kid's house door opens. And when I tell y'all I've never been so scared to see a door in my life, I'm not trolling. Like, that jug had my heart racing. And then when we saw some lady come out that same door wielding some scissors and walking around like like a crackhead, oh my goodness, I was in the theater, ears covered. Wake up, come on, wake up. I was so scared, my friend had to let me know to uncover my ears because I was yelling. And that was just the first half of the movie too. Even the reveal towards the end, spoiler warning, that it was actually the kid's witch aunt behind it all had me a little spooked. And not even because I'm scared of what she can do, I mean, low key, but it's cause look at her, look at those teeth. If this was the first scene they showed in the movie, I would have walked out immediately. That's pretty much all the movies I wanted to go over today. Y'all know what to do. Comment down below the movies y'all thought was the scariest, or maybe y'all didn't find any of them scary and I'm just a bit. Either way,
Nah. I mean, I did not watch movies, so I cannot really talk about it. Like,
comment down below some movies you guys find scary. I might do a part 3. Maybe I'll use some of yours. And moral of the story?
Go ahead. Well, we made it to the end of the video. What do I think? I think, I don't really watch YouTube videos. I mean, movies, horror movies or anything. I always just watch, how to beat videos. And we got some exhibits about it, like Barbarian with, first of all, the guy went down to check it out. He saw a big-ass tunnel and decided to go down. And then the black woman pulled up and she saw a big-ass tunnel and she decided to go in. And then the owner of the house pulled up and then he saw a big-ass tunnel and he decided to go in. 3? I don't know what the fuck was that, bro. And not to talk about the actual neighborhood itself. First of all, fucked up neighborhood. A dude I don't know existed in the house. The other dude who did not tell me that there is another dude in the house. And I meet my friend, whatever, boss or whatever it is, and they're like, oh yeah, that place is scary or that place is not safe. Like, the amount of red flags in these movies, they're not created with niceness. I don't feel like there's a great connection with the movies, you know? I feel like these movies just have dumb characters or dumb decisions, you know? And there are probably movies out there who don't have dumb characters, dumb decisions. They probably have good decisions. But I just can't differentiate between the hundreds of movies. That movie, like hot take, but Terrifier 1, 2, and 3, when I saw How to Beat, it's like the dumbest decision ever being made by those people. And I get that dude is strong, but when you have the means to kill the dude, bro, kill that motherfucker in a minute. Kill that motherfucker in a second. Bro, when Terrifier 3, I believe so, and pulled up, and then the girl was hanging down. Oh, she's not trying to go to hell. I don't give a fuck. Bro, this dude is going down. She not dying. He gonna be living for life. The thing about it, bro just chilling over there her or whatever, right? You know his ass is gonna push you in. I go try to save the child or whatever. And then what happened after I try to save the child? Oh shit, this motherfucker can just kick me the fuck out and I'm gone. I'm in the hole with the child. Both of us dead, and that dude gets to rock away, killing more children and more people out there. Why? Oh, because I did not want to just just slice his motherfucking head off, and then be like, you know what? Now I can go save the child. And the gate is probably gonna get weaker and stuff like that because right now he's not there. So the gate either gonna suck out the child, and close up the entire thing, or it's just gonna have some weakening, and then I can drag out the child. Oh, come on, let's go. And be done with it. Not to talk about the fact that she used the knife that kills the motherfucker as a stick rather than all the motherfucking thing they were on. She was sitting on a chair. They have chair there. They have broom. They have a fucking thing that you put a coat on. There's so many utilities and tools that you have around the house that you can use to pull that little girl out. Except you decided to give her the knife. Not to talk about what side she gave her. She gave her the dull side, which is the handle side, and she was holding the blade side. I don't know about you, but I understand that if there's a sucking force coming from the bottom while gravity is also coming from the top pushing to the bottom, then the motherfucker will cut off my hand if I'm holding anything sharp, because the sword that can literally decapitate the fuck out of what's his name? Ed the Clown? No, that's the other dude. I don't know. Art the Clown. With one slice, then how the fuck would my small little ass woman hand would handle him if I was that woman? Like, man, I don't want to get pissed off, but that was my rant about Terrifier 3. I apologize if you really love the movie. I'm not a really big fan of horror movies, but to discuss why I was missing was because I got a job. I almost had a job. I didn't get the job, but I still have like other jobs or other things that I work on. That one was kind of like, you know what? Extra cash. And I was like, let me have the extra cash. And then it did not work out. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how y'all be doing that corporate job in terms of creative shit, because obviously creative shit, like, I don't know, fixing up images, doing stuff like that. Like, those are the worst job ever, because at least at 9-11 or McDonald's, something, you just know what you gotta do. Boom, 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 done. But in that, it's like, you gotta just deal with people, and then they add the word pizzazz, make it little better, make it look better. They don't discuss what's better. I think a lot of people who are in the creative world understand, but I'm talking like I'm a fucking best creative world dude. Hey, look at me, guys. But yeah, that's basically what it was. I also had like working on apps. I was like programming apps and stuff like that, like on the side. So I had like a couple of things, and like I wanted to come back. And I was like, you know what? Like, when I come back, I'm gonna come back in a different tone. I hope this different tone is better. I think it's a new angle of the camera, right? Something like that. Also, the videos, as I can see, is kind of long, but I don't know how it's gonna be. Like, I'm gonna edit it out as much as possible. But if I'm being honest, I just want to be genuine with everybody when I'm making these videos. Not that I was not genuine before, but sometimes before I used to cut parts where I was like, oh, I'm trying to make the video small. But right now I feel like I want to make the video smaller, but I want it to also be interested and conversate about me, and me conversating about stuff and discussing stuff, rather than me cutting myself short and being like, just get to the point. I would like to elaborate in a way. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like always, guys, like the video, subscribe, do what you gotta do. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.